Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Sam. The bean is singing, so you might hear him in the background today, and this is sort of the speed build of the two live streams we did last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I couldn't talk for a few days. My voice was just absolutely gone, so I am kind of behind on this, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it together. So, a lot of information that I'm going to be throwing at you today. However, first off, if you're not familiar with the Inherited Manor challenge, let's just start there. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, I thought it'd be really fun to create a challenge for myself, specifically, to play through in The Sims 4, kind of based on mobile games like Homescapes, Lily's Garden, you know, where it's a puzzle game and then you go through the puzzles and you unlock the rooms of the mansion and you get to fix it up and all this stuff. I thought that was a really fun sort of mobile game concept, but I wanted to bring it in, to life in The Sims. So I built the original Inherited Manor challenge. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I was like, hey, you know what? I've almost never posted on Reddit. I'm gonna put this on Reddit and see if anybody likes it. And a lot of people really liked it. So much so that I actually stayed up for hours afterward just doing bug fixes and figuring out what a save file was. I did not sleep that night. Then the kid woke up and I was like, well, here we go again. I was so excited that so many people were so excited about this challenge idea. So that's sort of where the original one came from. Now, in that whole bug testing and everything, because it worked for me, but what we learned is that you can't actually download builds off of the gallery and keep the burned items. We learned that if you didn't have all of the packs, then the damages wouldn't keep even if you were using the save file. There was a lot of nonsense happening that we all had to figure out. So if by some miracle somebody watching this is one of the people who originally helped me figure all of that stuff out, I just want to say thank you again. You made this possible, what we're seeing today, Inherited Manor Challenge 2023. I hope to do them in the future as well, because this is a really fun, really big build. It scratches that itch of wanting to do something massive. And there's enough of a drive to actually complete it because other people are relying on you to do this. So anyway, giant build. But the whole point of the challenge is that you go through the build, it's ruined, I do burn things, so if you're sensitive to house fires and things, I get you. This is not the challenge for you. I plan to make other challenges in the future as well that will be more friendly to people who may have lost their homes, just focus on different aspects of the game. But if that is an issue, I do not recommend following the progress of this challenge. So just heads up. But you go through, you go room by room, you fix it up, you have to make money however you want except by cheating, and you can't just sell all the furniture to make a bunch of money back or whatever. So it's a really complex challenge, a lot of fun, and it's going to be even bigger and better this year because I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I'm so excited to share with you guys. So first off, as you can see, it's a pretty big build, but a few things we're doing differently this year. And if you're in the live chat and you're just rewatching this to catch up, I want to thank you again for all of the super helpful ideas that you guys dropped. You helped me figure out some of the roofing issues. You helped me with the stair layout, you helped with some of the color and furniture layout things, you helped actually decide this next part, which is this year I'm actually going to suggest a specific sequence of rooms to work through. Last time it was just go wherever you want, but this time I'm trying to implement a little bit more of a story. So the goal, basically, hi buddy, you coming over to help? Thank you. Oh, you want to be James Dean? You can't be James Dean today. James Dean wrote his favorite books. I guess he wants to be him today. Anyway, where was I? Challenge, room by room. Oh, I want to do a story. So, and in the end, it's The Sims 4. Play how you want. My end goal with this challenge is if you download it and you play with it and you have fun, regardless of if you follow my rules or not, that is my goal. So, don't feel like you have to follow these rules. If it's too much, you just don't care. Just have a good time. But if you want to follow the rules, my hope is that I'll have a sequence of challenges where you actually have to go through room by room by room, and not only will each room have sort of the overall goal, right, where you have to make sure that everything is fixed up, you have to repair all the broken furniture, any scratched furniture, right, you have to fix any broken plumbing. Not only will every room have those challenges, but I want to do a little bit of a special challenge per room as well that will progress the story. I would like to involve some ghosts, so an upcoming, I'd love to do a live stream, I just don't know if it's going to be possible because parenting. Either an upcoming live stream or just an upcoming sort of video, I'll be going through and adding ghosts, which means I need people well, I need Sims to, you know, ghostify. So if you would like to submit any future ghosts for the challenge, I would love that, because I'm just not a create a sim person, and if you are and you would like to leave your mark on this challenge, that'd be super cool. I'll put all of the details for that in the description down below, just so that you have like a written reference. I find that a written reference is really helpful, so hopefully that will help you as well. And if you're just not into that, no worries. You can contribute in other ways as well if you still want to. If you check the video description, there will also be a link to a Discord server. I don't have it up yet as I'm recording this, but by the time the video is live, or shortly thereafter, there will be a Discord server specifically for this challenge. My goal with that is to try and open up to play testing, basically, so that I'm not doing 100% of it myself, because my computer and my system and me already having the files on my computer might sort of skew the numbers, as it were, and I want to make sure that we try and test on as many systems as possible, make sure that the the file is transferring properly, all of that stuff. So if you'd like to help with that, that would be super duper cool. I can't pay any of you, but I can give you a huge thank you, and you guys get to actually access the challenge early, you get to put in some input, all that sort of stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, that will also be in the video description. All sorts of things happening. Oh gosh, let's see. What other information did I have to give you all? Talked about the ghosts, talked about the server. I guess we can talk a little bit about this build. So if you missed the poll, I did actually do a poll on what sort of style build you guys wanted to see. I gave you 4 options and you voted on this one, which I just kind of called mysterious, I think, or spooky, something like that. So a great big, very dark mansion, except the windows were white, which really lightened it up a bit. On the screen right now, the bricks are all black. I do change those, so you'll see that change in a couple of minutes here, which I think helps lighten up the build a little bit. And then the roof here I was really struggling with, because I initially started with sort of a mansard style, a second empire, which is great. It's one of my absolute favorite roofs to do, but it just, like, there wasn't enough roof. And then later on we figured out it was also because of just how dark the bricks were, so that's another reason that we changed it. And then we came to the entry. The entry here was a lot of work. If you watched the live stream, you'll notice I cut out a lot. This is about 7 hours of stream cut down into this video. But I didn't want to waste you guys' time with showing a bunch of stuff that I ended up changing up anyway. So that's why I put both of the streams together. Hi! Little helper is still here, which just further proves my point of you don't live stream with a small child around. That's dangerous. So working on the front here, the original reference image had like really big arches, and I really wanted to get some of those in, but I just don't think that it would have been possible to get what was in my head without expanding into other packs, which I didn't want to use, or going into the custom content realm. I'm not against using custom content in builds and challenges in the future, but not for the specific Inherited Manor sort of, it's not really a brand, but like that range of challenges. I don't want to use custom content on those. I want to very strategically pick which packs I'm using in the future. For the first one, it was literally just the packs that I had, because I didn't expect this to turn into anything, but now here we are. So for this one, I used James Turner's video where he did a poll of like 15,000 people or something, I think, went on there, and sort of voted like who likes which packs best, which worlds are best, which create a sim is best, and all that stuff. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's just James Turner is his channel name. You can also find him by searching the Sim Supply, as he was formerly known. And I think the video title is just what pack to buy, something like that. Anyway, great video. But using that information, I just used any packs that had an 80% or higher sort of ownership rate. So hopefully that will get as many people, like, find that balance point right between everybody, well, not everybody can play, but as many people as possible can play, while also like keeping things interesting and taking advantage of the different packs and stuff. So for example, a 64 by 64 lot, right, that's a good thing. And also it's really, really difficult to furnish, what is this, like a 7 or 8 bedroom house with multiple rooms. It can be really hard to find things just in the base game to furnish all of that with, so that's why the packs are the way they are. The packs that will be necessary are, of course, linked down, well, listed, I guess, listed down in the video description. This is going to be a long video description. Apologies in advance. I'll also contain all the usual links in there, so of course you can check out all of those if you feel so inclined. This sort of carriage house turned apartment was another idea from the live chat, and unfortunately, I can't, like, it's not loading properly for me, so I can't double check and give proper credit, and I feel really, really bad about that. But if I'll try again after I get the video edited, or before I start editing the video, I'll try to get it to load through again and see if I can find whoever it was that suggested the stairs, because that was a big deal, and whoever suggested the little carriage house. Those are both really, really good ideas, and I wish I could remember who suggested those. Now we are going to do multi-tiered landscaping, so my plan pretty much is to do 2 more speed builds for this. One where I finish up the furnishing. We'll talk a little bit more about the furnishing and the actual like furnished part of the challenge. And then I would like to do another speed build where I'm landscaping, where I talk about the landscaping style, landscaping tips and tricks and all that stuff. So if you have any questions about landscaping, I'd love to answer them if I can. Ponds, I do plan on adding some waterfalls. And I am trying to kind of be budget conscious a little bit, so like I'd like to add waterfalls, but not too many because fountains are expensive. And I have to decide still if I want to use debug for landscaping, which means landscaping would not be part of the challenge because I don't want you to have to mess with that. That was kind of a bit of an issue with the first one that I did, that I didn't anticipate so many people playing. So I could use debug, and then landscaping wouldn't necessarily be part of the challenge, it'd be like an option, or I can just stick with like normal plants, that's not the right word, or I could just stick with normal plants and not have it be part of the challenge. So if you have an opinion on that, let me know. I haven't quite decided, but I do want to finish furnishing first, so I've got some time, really. Regardless of what I do with the landscaping though, I do want this back deck area to be part of the challenge for sure. Oh, also, that's what I was talking about, and then I got distracted by a small child. Landscaping may or not be part of it. Rooms, doing 2 videos. We got there at the end. Oh, there's a transition. So this is now the second stream. So I want to do a video, speed build sort of thing for the furnishing, and one for the landscaping. Haven't decided debug or not, and then what I was going to follow up that with is after that, I'd like to do another sort of, not like entirely a let's play video, because I'm really hoping to just edit it down into one video. But just make one video where I'm going through and I'm sort of like create sort of the original estate owner before it falls into your hands, go through, and that will be a big part of the playtesting, right? So we'll go through and playtest and bring over the lovers, turned fighters, turned enemies, or whatever storylines we decide to go with those. Again, ideally, I would love for that to be live stream, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Either way though, it will turn into a video here on the channel, so you can watch through and we can like learn about all of these ghosts that we're going through, and then as you go through the rooms, if you find an urn, like that'll be like the special challenge for that room. Not every room will have a ghost, that'll just be too many. But I was thinking you'd have the option of either adding the ghost to your family, which could be an extra source of income, an extra set of hands, right? Like you don't necessarily have to be best friends or romantically involved or anything, you just like, you have the option of adding them to your workforce as it were, or you can add them to your graveyard still, but actually release them into the spirit realm, and then they would send back a monetary gift. So I wanted to sort of add that as an option. I thought it would drive a little more gameplay, and it would make, not necessarily console friendly, but help anybody who wants to play this challenge but is unable to use the save file for whatever reason still have like something to play through, if that makes sense. Because otherwise, most of the challenge is fixing stuff up, but if we add budget restrictions and if we add target amounts, like how much each room has to cost, and if we add a little bit of storyline element and we add some ghosts that you have to rescue and all that stuff, it feels like that would be beneficial to all players, but especially players who may not be able to use the save file more or less as intended. So if you have thoughts on any of this, please let me know with the comment section down below, as well as questions and corrections. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a speed build. I feel like I've forgotten how to pace myself and talk for a long period of time, so now I'm trying to remember the other things I wanted to talk about. We could just mention the greenhouse here, or the not really a greenhouse, atrium, more like just, you know, a cool little place with plants. We ended up furnishing the atrium here, and then we did the ballroom, which chat suggested should be sort of like a boss level, and that's sort of when we agreed that like playing through the rooms in a certain order could actually be a lot of fun. So we did that. We did the sort of more formal living area, which also ended up being a karaoke studio, but I'm thinking about adding like one of the requirements where you have to have some sort of activity or skill piece in each room, because you could completely redo the floor plan, or not necessarily floor plan, but you could redo the rooms and stuff if you wanted to. I don't care. You do you, use what packs you have, do what you want to do, but by adding like restrictions or whatever, that sort of levels out the playing field. So even if you decide you don't really want a ballroom, if you'd rather have like a rocket ship launch out of there instead, that's fine, but you'll still have to like hit certain goals in order to progress with the challenge. I would also really like, in the Discord server, I have a whole bunch of channel ideas. First off, I want to have like a different sort of group for each one of the challenges. So the original base game one, Grandma's Mediterranean, the original all random packs one, right, Inherited Manor challenge, the original, and then one for this as well. Have one channel with all of the original rules, one channel for, I think they're called channels. I'm still new to this, but I'm working on it. One channel for like questions to do Q&A and do bug fixes and stuff, which if you want to help with the playtesting, that would eliminate a lot of the need for that, and or help other people be able to answer each other's questions, which is something I really appreciate about Facebook groups, being able to ask questions of a community and not like have to go and try and search for it on a forum or anything. But I would also like to add a space for you guys to like share progress photos and show what you're doing with it. I happened to go on the gallery and I think I searched for an Inherited Manor challenge, and I also did it just hashtag salmon bean on the gallery the other day, because I never thought to do that, and I actually found several of the original redone and like redecorated and stuff, and it was so cool to see. So for me at least, I really enjoyed seeing that. So that was an idea for that. The ballroom, definitely a boss level. I want to have each room hit like a certain simoleon goal, and most of the rooms on this floor, I think we agreed were going to be like 10 to 15, and I think that this one's like 25,000. It's a lot. But again, different levels will have different challenges or whatever. Maybe we don't put a ghost in this room because that would just be like an extra challenge, or maybe we do. Can you die from singing? Like, is there a music related one? Just dance to death, a la the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Who knows? I don't know if you can hear it. My voice isn't still 100% back, but it's back enough. I've been posting TikToks again, and I'm getting ready for the next Build Like a Nerd. I'm working on the pre-build right now. You guys are going to love it. If you enjoyed the Tudor homes, this is kind of like the one coming after that, right? Tudor sort of set the ground for this one, so I'm so excited to build this one with you guys. You're going to love it. Back to the ballroom though. This one was a doozy. Orange was definitely heavily requested. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So something that I struggle with when I'm decorating is decorating. No worries, there's this thing called Pinterest, and you can search color palettes. So I did, and we found one that's sort of kind of pastel, but not pastel to the point of like being too soft and colorless. It still had some pretty strong colors in there, and there was one sort of mustardish, orangish color in there. And we were trying to get that to work for this space, you know, like a high energy color for the like dance hall or whatever, and there are just not good orange wallpaper options in the game. So we didn't go with wallpaper, but the bar sort of brought some of that tone in with the stained glass, so I did still try to bring it in with some of the furniture and stuff. The other main bane of my existence here was the curtains, because I'm limiting myself to packs, and most of the packs are the older packs. Newer packs have been doing a much better job of actually giving us like multiple curtain length options, but I think City Living, was it just City Living that might be the only pack that I had that actually had like tall curtains? Because I don't think Cats and Dogs does. Seasons doesn't. So yeah, finding curtains for this build is really difficult. And I had a few people suggest using that the Oasis, not the Oasis one, the Desert Luxe kit curtains. Love those curtains. They're fantastic. They're so helpful. But it wasn't listed as 80% plus of people owning the pack, so we're not going to use that. Moving on to the entryway, since this is going to be the second room that you're going to work through, I didn't want this to be too terribly expensive, but I still wanted to have a few like big items to sort of use. You might also see paw print rugs on the floor. That's sort of the idea of like directing traffic through the house to sort of show you which direction you have to go. We don't have, not using Get Famous for this, so I don't have those little like arrow stage markers and stuff. Don't have the Moschino pack, so we don't have the arrows there. So paw prints was kind of like what to use, I guess. So my plan is to leave the paw prints in, as well as have on Tumblr and Reddit and in the Discord, so as many places as possible to be accessible to as many people as possible. Oh look, there's actually the color palette just came on screen there quickly. I want to sort of like have that storyline laid out as well with some pictures and everything. Now I don't plan on uploading the completely finished, not damaged version to the gallery. I will still like destroy it before I upload it, but just remember that if you download it from the gallery, whether that's due to console reasons or other reasons that you're not able to actually use the save file, it will not place with burned items. But I'd love to have some cats run through and destroy everything. So there will still be some element of like destruction, hopefully. That's my goal. And I'll make sure that I break as much plumbing as possible. Yeah, so the main entry hall, we decided to go with pink, sort of pink and that bronze sculpture, which I don't think I've ever used in a build before, but it was really cool, and it just sort of gives that like big target item, you know, to fix up. So pink and warm and welcoming. The rooms all have like a little color thing. But again, there's a reason that this is a redecorating challenge, because I do not come on the internet and talk about what a great decorator I am, for a very good reason. The color palette thing really helped. It gave me like a target to aim for, and I wanted to keep things pretty dark. And I think it turned out okay. And then this space above the door, I am putting a couple of suits of armor up there, and yes, those are really expensive, but you don't have to like replace those. I don't think those are gonna get burned. Oh, chat was also really insistent that I use the cats and dogs hutches, so those are in there, don't worry. I even left it in the speed build for you. Yes, so what was I talking about? Keeping it dark. Oh, because the outside of the build was so dark, like the one you guys actually voted on. It was quite dark in color, so I wanted to make sure that I was using that. Now the rugs and stuff, again, I'm gonna have to do some playtesting and things. I wanted to decorate it so that it could hit the budget goal, even though a lot of these items will be destroyed with the whole like fire and everything, which I do plan on using a spellcaster for, crossing my fingers that it doesn't actually corrupt the save file so that people can't use it if they don't have Realm of Magic. So I will playtest that on my end for sure. Yeah, so hopefully I can use a spellcaster, but I still won't burn like those suits of armor up there. And if you want to replace them or whatever, like that's fine, go for it. You can pretend that they're your little gold mine. But all these rugs and stuff, I don't know if the rugs are going to stay, but at the very least I can get screenshots to sort of list like example photos, if that makes sense, through the story, you know, take screenshots as we go through. This is going to be a lot of fun. I've been thinking about like, I don't plan on ever really becoming a Let's Play sort of channel. Like I have some ideas for videos, but they're still very much in the like a nerd vein, right? Like, how much money can you make from paintings? I'm not going to just like, oh, let's make some paintings. Like we're going to have charts, we're going to have a graph, we are going to be leveling back down to 0 and see how many paintings it takes to achieve each level and whether moodlets map. Like, if I do a challenge like that, it's going to be as in-depth as possible. So I don't plan on necessarily becoming a Let's Play channel, so I don't plan on becoming a Let's Play channel, even if I do some sort of gameplay challenges, but I would still love to bring in some sort of storytelling element, and I feel like this challenge, and if I do any other challenges similar to it, can sort of provide that, because I used to tell stories all the time. It was kind of my thing. Like I thought I was going to be a novelist or a journalist, and I make houses on the internet, and I'm a mom now, so that's what I do. I keep people alive in the real world and in the digital world. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but I had things to talk about, and then I talked about them, and now they're gone. So now you just sort of talk about random stuff, and that's the nature of it, folks. I mean, we're coming up toward the end here. I think after this there's only one other room that we ended up doing. Man, I swear I had a train of thought, and it is gone. Nope, it's gone. Well, hey look, this is a kitchen. The kitchen is a little bit brighter, which is nice. I did just pretty much do full Parenthood kitchen. I did stick with the country stove and everything. This house, it's definitely not like super modern and up to date, but it's also not super dated. Trying to find that balance of like, it's clear that the people who lived here had money, but also I don't want to go too overboard like I did with the first one, where I just wasn't paying attention to budget at all, because I was, again, just making the challenge for me. So trying to keep budget restraints in mind so I can go through and do screenshots of like examples, and then even if things are lost when you redo the challenge, well, when you do the challenge, you'll have to like hit those goals and everything. And once you complete a whole floor, you should be able to like move walls around and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll work through that as we keep going. Can I help you, buddy? The bathroom was quite a bit of a challenge to hit that like budget goal, but it is possible. We did it. Definitely put in some washer and dryer units because that is an 80% plus pack, so congrats, you get bugs, but hey, that's okay. Plus it'll add a little bit of gameplay element to actually have to like keep up on your laundry and all that stuff, unless you want to just stink the ghosts out, which I guess is a strategy. Alright, the video is almost done, I do have links to the playlists here, and future speed builds will probably be linked here. I might make a playlist, haven't 100% decided yet. I'm just getting my voice back, working on getting these videos out. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like, comment, suggestions, and read the video description for more information. It's going to be awesome. I do not have like an end product to show you again, so this is it, but thanks so much for hanging out today. Bye!